Welcome to the Deuce Cast Extra. We are here on a Tuesday night to talk about two fantastic shows. First, we will be talking about, of course, the Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 6, which was, I don't know, some guy about the Mandalorian came back. No big deal. No big deal. Return of the Mandalorian. Fun episode. Ryfun, how's it going, buddy? How's your week been? I know you said busy, but other than that,
It's been really good. I've seen this episode once, but I really loved it.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to ask me questions about Native American pottery or art, I could probably answer that better right now than the Mandalorian.
Exactly.
Or sorry, Book of Boba Fett. That's very telling.
Oh, that is very telling. But you know, it's all good. Nick, I know you've talked about this episode a lot in many different places, but how has your week been otherwise outside of Mandoverse and Book of Boba Fett verse?
Also busy, but for other different reasons. I think I have probably, since I saw you guys last Tuesday, interviewed about 25 people for jobs. So if at some point I just swap into like interview question mode, just cut me off and be like, this isn't what we're doing tonight.
One of those probably should have been me, but I'm lazy, so I have not gone there.
Depends on how you feel about sticking needles in people's arms.
At this point, I probably need to learn. But we've got a lot of fun people hanging out in the chat. I see Craig, I see Brian, Melissa listening in the background as she works. Matt, how's it going? And of course, this joker right here who will be on later on for 1883, Roth from Wyoming. How's it going, buddy? What a fantastic episode. It was unexpected. I mean, I think everyone knew we were probably going to get Mando at some point this season. I mean, there was a lot of talk about it.
It was confirmed. Well, okay, if we're talking about early on.
Yeah.
But it was confirmed by that musical sting the episode before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
I didn't know we were going to get this much. Yeah, I didn't know.
A whole episode.
I mean, now, I'm not complaining. I dug the heck out of it. Just because there was so much lore packed into the episode, just about, the Mandalorians in general. And we've gotten some of that in bits and pieces. We know about the Darksaber, especially if you watched Rebels. Sorry, Ryfun. But you know about what it takes for a Mandalorian to wield the Darksaber.
I feel like I'm not missing out much on that because they've kind of given us a lot of the answers in the show for that.
That's true. That's a good point.
Kind of sort of retcon some things from what I understand.
Yeah.
That whole
and for those of us who have seen the other things, it creates questions. So.
Yeah, I mean a little bit. They did retcon a bit of the Bo-Katan stuff. How she maybe was not the rightful wielder of the Darksaber.
I like that because it almost makes me think that this superstition about winning it in battle came after after Mandalore was attacked.
Maybe
it makes me think that they just believed that it was cursed, and because she just took it instead of winning it, everything went to hell.
Yeah, and the interesting part of that, and spoilers for Rebels, but we've kind of been there before.
Yeah.
But Ezra and Kanan give it to Sabine, and Sabine wields it for that period of time during that arc in Rebels before she then turns around and gives it to Bo, and Sabine had no problems and seemingly was in a unifying direction and that kind of thing. So
okay. See, I haven't seen Rebels.
Right. Yeah, and I knew that, and I didn't feel like it was. I felt like it was okay to share that part. But,
yeah, no. I get it. So
totally.
It's just kind of like it's not caused any problems for me, but I could see how that. Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and I love all the lore around the Mandalorian stuff. I love that we got to see. And maybe we got to see a little bit of this in Mandalorian the series, but we got to see more of just the Great Purge, Night of 1,000 Tears. We got to see a little bit more of that. There was a bunch of K2SOs running around destroying
I'm sorry,
people.
You mean Terminator 2, but Star Wars?
They looked really tall also. Like the angle that they shot them out, they almost look like, what are those things in X-Men called?
That was one of my favorite scenes in that episode. Was
you're
just
talking about
the Night of 1,000 Tears.
Yeah. The things in they almost like the way they shot them to look so big. They almost look like Sentinels. But yeah, I totally loved that we got to see
when they pull out wide and the probe droids are also hovering in the background. Like
it was very Terminator, but yes. I mean, but still, it looked cool. And yeah, let's talk about this. I mean, let's talk about this. I mean, and it's a covert, not a coven, but we will correct you there. But
coven too.
yeah. The whole covert thing is hard to remember because it's not a word you really hear much in this context.
And I think the interesting thing about that, and Brian's not wrong, but it also goes back to a very classic Star Wars trope, which is from a certain point of view. And we're talking about religious extremism. And we got that in Mando season 2 when Bo takes her helmet off and he's confused.
Yes.
And right away she says, oh, you're, from Children of the Watch. And she says they were religious extremists. Like he's dealing with, and I saw several people, there was an article that was written for, I think, Collider maybe this week, that talked about, viewing this episode in the wake of people who have dealt with religious trauma and have dealt with, coming from these psychological backgrounds. And so I think that's exactly it. I think whose viewpoint are we talking about, which does have the opportunity to set up other conflict as he maybe encounters the armorer and Paz Vizsla again, somewhere down the line.
But I will also insert that it's clear that Bo at the end of season 2 also was buying into the curse.
Right.
Because she would not take the weapon back.
Right. She knew better. Yeah. Well, and because she had been there once before is I think what we're supposed to assume. So it's an interesting thing between and the other part that we got was with Bill Burr. Bill Burr says it to him when they're in the tank as they're driving and he's wearing the tank trooper helmet and he doesn't take it off inside the thing. And he kind of hits him with, oh, you won't take your helmet off, but you're fine with these other things. And he hits him with like a religious double standard. And so we've gotten this concept from a couple different places. And I thought as we ended up Mando season 2, maybe Din was kind of seeing the change and seeing the fact that, oh, maybe I can, take it off. But then we see him in this point and he's right back there and like not taking it off and dealing with that shame. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out more.
I think without Grogu, we've seen him kind of devolve in a way.
Devolve, that's a good way to put that.
Because he's more violent again. Take you in warm or cold, which I love that line. I knew it was going to come up.
Yeah.
He does, and then he cuts his head off.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're used to seeing that happen to droids in Star Wars, but to see someone, a Klatooinian, get cut in half.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. I'll be honest.
And they didn't cut away. And obviously the whole thing with sabers is like, other than the arm in Mos Eisley in Star Wars, that was very bloody. But most of the time, the whole understanding is like it cauterizes instantly, and it's this whole thing. Right. So when he's laid out on that table, they didn't cut away from that shot, which really surprised me. Like that was pretty intense for what we normally get.
Yeah.
I've seen some people posit theories about, hey, Earl, I've seen some people posit theories about, maybe Grogu his light side was feeding into Din. But here's what I think. I think Din was trying to be a good role model for a kid, as most fathers are. And once that kid was away from him, again, like I said earlier, he devolved back into what he was before. And he wanted to be a part of that family, the covert. Is it covert?
Yeah, covert.
Yeah. And I guess we're getting some setup for season 3 with. I think that mind stuff will be a season 3 thing.
I think so too.
I think too. Go ahead. Sorry, Mikey.
Well, I was just gonna say. I mean, I wonder like how much he wants to be back in the covert, though. I mean, they so unceremoniously kicked him out after having to fight Paz Vizsla. I mean. It's just interesting to me, like
my ancestor.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm just kind of like, why would he want to be back in that covert so badly? I think he's going to create his own covert with Grogu. Basically, I mean, who needs these helmet zealots? Basically,
he seems to have a lot of faith in the armorer. And a lot of respect for the armorer.
Absolutely.
And it's not about Paz, because clearly him and Paz don't get along.
That's just another dude in class, but the teacher is the one that, like you said, garners the respect. One thing that I thought about when Ryfun was talking about, devolving and going back to, and I'm sure this probably wasn't intentional, but because we love to talk about how Star Wars rhymes, the line that popped up in my head was the conversation between Han and Leia in Force Awakens when they talk about losing Ben. We both went back to the thing we knew. You know, they split up and he went back to smuggling and racing and she went back to being a general and doing that whole thing. Yeah. And it's, you know, we've all seen people cover up their pain and trauma, even in real life, by going back to the one thing they know how to do or their, you know, comfort spot. So I like that. And I think that is a good read of those moments.
Yeah, I mean, Brian, I think that could be something that happens, but it really, I don't know. I think they're going to split those characters. I don't think you want Boba and Mando together all the time. I think it's going to be like a one-off thing. Mando helps Boba out and then, you know, moves on.
Yeah, and this is all Mando's side of the universe anyway, so of course he was going to show up, and he's the main character of this stuff.
But it does also highlight the line from the other episode that Boba said about not getting very far without a tribe.
Right.
You know, that's a good callback to, you know, whether it's the same tribe or whether it's two different tribes. You know, that was another one that resonated watching how this played out.
Yeah. Earl, since you jumped in, I'm sure you were watching that Auburn game, so you had to jump in late. I know. I see your coffee.
Right.
War Eagle, baby.
War Eagle.
War Eagle. War Eagle.
So, oh yeah, Fetmatic with a little "What's up, Doc?"
Yeah. What's up, Doc?
What's up, Doc? So, Earl, we're talking about like the first part of the episode. I guess in general, what was your take on the episode being a Mando episode rather than a Boba Fett episode?
I mean, Did we just lose Nick?
That's okay. Just keep going. He'll be back.
I enjoyed this episode a lot. It felt like it was maybe better quality than some of the, as far as some of the
budget wise, it felt like it.
Budget wise, it felt.
I can argue some reasons for that, but I'll let you go on.
Well, yeah,
after you're done,
I'd like to hear your reasons, but okay. Yeah, me and Nick are punching clocks. Like he's got to go watch the. Oh, there he is. He had to go check a score real quick.
And that was my fault. It's halftime. We're good. Everybody's fine.
It's halftime. We're all good. We're all good.
Well,
no, I didn't. I just thought that it probably was a little unfair to. It felt like sort of that it was almost too much.
A lot of love for BDH here.
BDH is the best.
Yeah.
It felt like it was. What am I trying to say here? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Boba Fett.
Too much Mandalorian.
Too much. Well, so yes. But because it feels like the series has been shaky, and nobody could have predicted that, right? They just assumed that we would do this episode with Mando, and people would be like, "Oh, it's Mando," and Boba's been going so great. And but what happens is you got a shaky show, and then and then the Mando episode is the best one so far.
Yeah, Mando kind of staged Boba.
I know you don't think it's shaky, Michael.
I don't. You're saying I'm going objectively. You're saying that it's certainly not subjectively shaky. You're just objectively saying that. But I mean. Okay, I don't know. I've liked the series a lot
on this one. I'm with Earl, and I have also liked it, and I have enjoyed it, and we'll get into some more of that as we go along.
Most of Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, and I'm not like a big anti-Boba.
I haven't disliked any of it, but I think it confirms some things that I've thought along the way when I realized that my favorite episode of the Book of Boba Fett is the one that does not have Boba Fett in it.
It never hit the highs of Mandalorian until this past
week.
And
that's right.
And I said last week on Streaming Star Wars with Pete,
I am Boba Fett.
Like as a kid who grew up with the original trilogy, I was, a year old, I was born in 1978. So I've had Star Wars through the original trilogy, grew up with it, all that stuff. But Boba Fett was never an obsession for me. He was a cool looking character, but I liked Han a lot more. I liked R2 a lot more. I liked Luke a lot. There were a million things I loved in Star Wars way more than Boba Fett. He was just cool. And I think I kind of liked that mystery and, whatever. So when he showed up in Mando, and kicked ass, for me, it actually was like, oh, that's great, because
That's
that helped me see
cool.
that we've always been told he was the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy, but we didn't see that because he died in a punk way when blind Han Solo bumped his jetpack.
Yeah.
And so to get that,
Boba Fett.
to get that in Mando season 2, we're like, oh, this is what they meant.
Yes.
And that was awesome.
Yep.
So then I was on board. And so when we got that post-credits trailer, I was like, ooh, what could this be?
Yeah.
And I was excited coming into the series. I want to see it all. I'm not going to, judge any of it till it's fully over, which is another problem people are having.
That's smart. That's smart.
But what it has helped me figure out is I enjoy Boba Fett best in cameos and short doses.
Yeah.
Give me where he was in the OT. Give me the episode that Rodriguez did in Mando season 2. Like, that was awesome. Or when he shows up afterwards, but it's not a main feature, like the Bill Burr prison or that episode.
Yeah.
Like, he was there, but he wasn't a main feature. Like, I don't need an entire Boba Fett thing. I like him to pop up. And going forward, if we get more Mando seasons, like, let him pop in every now and then to do something or help out and then pop out. But it hasn't been what I wanted the most. What I realized watching last week's episode, to bring it back to where we are, is that I was really invested in Mandalorian, and I didn't realize how much until I hadn't seen him in 4 episodes and showed back up.
That's right. Yeah.
Because Pete, buddy Pete said it the best, when the Mandalorian was announced, he was one of the ones that went, do we need this? Is this something that we need? And pretty early on, from the baby Yoda reveal, he was like, holy crap, this is new and exciting and different. That's kind of where I am. Like, I need Mando. I need the continuation of that story. And it compels me more from a storytelling standpoint than the Boba Fett story does. I don't dislike Boba Fett. I've loved everything we've gotten, but I'm more compelled by the Mando story.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah, and the story of Din Djarin is more compelling in a way than Boba Fett's. I mean, just the fact that he was basically saved by the Mandalorians from his planet being destroyed. I mean, and he grew up in that culture, and he's just
and to tie into that, and I'm sorry I've already talked too much. The other thing that somebody else mentioned, but it resonated with me a lot, was the best part for a series that is kind of supposed to be set in their present day. Mm-hmm. The most compelling parts of Boba Fett were the flashbacks, the Tusken stories, him finding that family, him finding himself, figuring out those things. The modern day part of it. Now that could go all blown out of the water tomorrow and next week. Yeah. And that's why, again, I think it will. We reserve our judgment till the end. But it's another example of, character development. And this Fettmatic, Boba had no story. And I've said this before. I didn't know, and I think I said this maybe the first or second week that we did this. I didn't know that I needed an emotionally developed Boba Fett, but I was here for it. Those parts of it that I got in the flashbacks, I really love. The parts that I'm getting in the modern day, where he's kind of a borderline inept leader, like he keeps looking at Fennec going, wait, they're supposed to pay me, right? And, some of that stuff. But I'm all about him connecting with the Tuskens, humanizing native tribes, creating this other way. Because as we said Friday night, Boba Fett doesn't have to be Space Punisher. He doesn't have to be, just a mindless killing machine that gets misrepresented as, whatever. So
I wouldn't mind that, actually, now that you mention it. But I mean, Space Punisher does sound pretty cool. But
he can change. He can care about the Bantha.
That's right.
I'll have Bantha babies.
To circle back around, Earl posited that the episode thought it looked better than some of the other episodes in the season. I was going to give my reasons now as to why I think
give us our reasons.
Let's go.
First off, this, as mentioned before, Bryce Dallas Howard directed this episode. She has the most work in the volume of any of the directors that we've had in this show so far. And Rodriguez has been kind of has been kind of met in the volume, especially with action. Also, is a very dark episode, which really helps effects.
You can hide stuff in darkness.
Yes, that's fair. And so it gives us cooler, darker tone, but it also looks better. And the ring world looked gorgeous.
Oh my gosh, I want a whole episode of that ring world.
That was awesome.
I want some Larry Niven's ring world myself.
Yeah, Larry, exactly.
I gotta say something about Bryce Dallas Howard, because I've seen a lot of people be like, she has knocked all three of her episodes out of the park, and I agree, but I don't think people are talking about the fact that she's gotten better with every one.
She absolutely
definitely.
I agree with you completely, and I love also, and we've seen it in little nods, like she's so good with homage. Like the stuff she did in the episode with Mando ship crashing and mirroring the Apollo 13 scenes, from last season.
Yeah. That was great.
The scenes this time, Beggar's Canyon and mirroring the pod racing scenes. And like, I love her ability but it didn't feel in your face. Like if you know, otherwise you're just like, this looks good.
Yeah, I was very happy for the worst Star Wars film to get a lot of homages this past week.
Ryfun.
And you know that I've got to shout out my guy David Klein. Worked with Kevin Smith. He was the cinematographer this week, or this past week. So I got to shout him out. He's done a lot of stuff after Kevin Smith. He did Kevin Smith's first 3 movies, and then a lot of stuff. If you put
that comment of Roth's on the screen, damn it!
Sorry. He spelled it wrong. Sorry.
I was just about to say, if you put that comment on the screen, I'm leaving, but now it's too late.
My bad. But they did. They said she mentioned a father or whatever. So
that's
there was a
faster than father. So
there was an homage in there.
Father,
yeah, but there was a ton of Phantom Menace stuff.
There was
which is great. I actually genuinely loved it. I'm someone who just, I don't hate Phantom Menace. It's just one of my least favorite to rewatch. But I loved the wizard call out. I loved the Beggar's Canyon stuff. Yeah,
wizard.
Yeah.
So before we jump,
one Starfighter, of course. Yeah.
Before we jump into that section, let's talk about this chainmail. I'm assuming that's what it is. The chainmail for Grogu. They showed the little chains for a reason. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But do we think Grogu is going to be in this very next episode?
No, sir.
I'm going to be the devil's advocate. I'm going to say yes, because I want him in the next episode.
Nick says no, and Garrison says yes.
I say yes. I say yes because it's directed by Dave Filoni.
Yes.
Oh man.
And come on, let's bring in Luke, directed by Dave Filoni.
This is true.
Well, we've already got the guy who plays Luke's body double.
I know.
Yes. Max Lloyd Jones.
Okay, so we've got a
and my man Carson Teva.
Yeah, we got a from Fat Matic. I don't know. I just feel like there and then today
the book with the story though with the Pikes,
the book of Boba Fett Twitter account tweets out the little thing. I mean, come on.
I think that is a hardcore misdirect.
The Twitter account,
yes. I mean, StarWars.com put it out. The Book of Boba Fett official Twitter feed put it out, and it said something. Brace yourself for tomorrow, and it's him holding the hanky that looks like Boba Fett's head.
That looks like or no, Grogu's head. Yeah,
Grogu's head. I mean, sorry,
yes. And I love that.
Looks like Grogu's head with the ears. Yeah, that was really fun the way that they did that. And I almost have to. I think the armorer did that on purpose. Like I do think that was intentional.
Oh yeah.
Sure. But of course, it was a great little tease for everybody last week watching the episode. Like, oh yeah, I remember that dumb little green guy with the big ears. Like we're fully on board for that.
Where have I seen that before?
I think that is a very intentional misdirect, and I think the way it plays out is we start with Din heading off to go do that, and he gets turned back either because of the patrols that are already happening, because we saw Carson Teva, we saw Max Lloyd, Lieutenant Reed, I think is his name.
Yeah, I think that's what they went with. Yeah.
Either that or he gets that distress call from Boba and Fennec, like, holy crap, the Pikes thing is going down. Right. He turns back to help his friends, knowing he can still go find Grogu later, and it's going to get put off to season 3. I don't think we see it.
But I'm gonna just be a contrarian and
please do. Look, as I said at the top of this, all of my predictions are almost 100% always wrong.
When have they not delivered in the Mandalorian so far in this saga of the Mandalorian? I mean, Dave Filoni's episodes, we get a Ahsoka episode and she's there, bam, right in the open.
And that's why I think it's more likely that we get something else new tomorrow as opposed to getting Grogu.
And Filoni's directing this one, right?
Yes, he's directing this one.
Okay. Have we already said all this? I'm sorry.
No. We just
knew. We haven't. You're just right.
This is an interesting point. They're really showing these Rangers quite a bit. I wonder if that show's not dead. The thought was that show was going to be dead. No. I wonder if Carson Teva is.
I think Carson Teva and former guest of Podcast of the Whills, Paul Sun Young Lee. I think they could build something with him, and I wouldn't put it above them because
I wouldn't either.
He has a really great story about how he got involved with that in the first place. The episodes that he did in seasons 1 and 2. That was maybe my most excited thing last week. Was when he showed up.
I knew you'd like
that. Was cool. Yeah,
that's awesome. I mean, for sure. In fact, I messaged him immediately. I was like, I have thoughts and I want to ask you, but I can't. And he was just like, I know. Like he hasn't told me anything. He's following the rules, but
Wow, so he was on your podcast.
Yes, he was.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Back in November.
Awesome.
But
no, this
such a nice guy, has an amazing story. Well, and we can come back to my theories about Cad Bane as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's the potential that series could.
It has a new life.
That.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Kim's Convenience. He's a great actor. We know he can do that stuff. He's Uncle Iroh in the new Avatar live action.
That's a great casting.
Yeah.
Wow.
And and I don't know anything about Avatar, but like he's being recognized for this work that he's doing.
Yeah.
And
I agree. Yeah.
I think that they could certainly bring him in bigger, and I hope they do.
Yeah, I hope. I hope so too.
We have a Jacob Roth guarantee that Cad Bane is going to be there. I mean, we can't go against that. That's a guarantee.
No, we can't.
Okay, so and then I want other people to talk because again, I'm self-conscious. I'm talking too much.
That's awesome.
Cad Bane. If we get live action Cad Bane, needs to be played by Timothy Oliphant.
You love that so much.
I love this because he's tall and thin. He's done plenty of Western gunslinging kind of things, and it's a masked character, so it doesn't matter that he's already been in as Cobb Vanth, and it adds to that kind of Star Warsy thing of like, oh yeah, he did this and he played this. Anthony Daniels was a pilot for whatever, and so was a whatever. Like Timothy Oliphant would be the perfect live action Cad Bane.
No, I agree. He would be. It'd be great. Yeah.
I just want to remind people that in terms of shows being dead on Disney Plus or shows being announced, they announce all kinds of stuff because they want to pump up their stocks. It's what they want to do. And those shows have never had a script written before. So if they have to dump stuff to make a different show but still make the show, they can easily do that. Yeah.
The Charles Barkley guarantee.
Is that any good?
Sure, why not? War Eagle.
Yeah, there you go. Go Charles.
Oh, look at this. Walton Goggins. Now that would be good.
As Cad Bane?
As Cad Bane. I would like that.
I'm currently rewatching Justified, so I'm not going to argue with either one of these things.
Yeah, I mean, with him being a masked character, I just wonder like how big they would go with that casting. I mean, that's my only concern with that. I mean,
and I think because they're already connected to Oliphant, that makes more sense. Like,
yeah, but
Billy Bob Thornton.
I mean, he was awesome in 1883. I mean, I'll tell you that. That's a little 1883.
Oh no, he was.
He was a bad A in that. I mean, he was vicious.
Right, so we've got to get to TSA. We've got to get to space. Amy Sedaris.
I was about to say. I was about to say she's back. What's her name? Melly or whatever.
Pelimoto.
Pelimoto. Yeah, she's
talked
back.
through the whole thing about the dark saber and
we before you
covered all that.
We covered all. Now I will say it's interesting that he has such a hard time wielding it, whereas it seems like everybody else that touches it does not have a struggle.
Paz did, and they made sure to show that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Paz did.
They did do that.
Moff Gideon didn't seem to have much of a struggle.
Moff Gideon understands. He's
well, and that's that was her big thing was if you understand and it, like it's the psychological block is the way I interpreted it. Like Den is blocked against it because he's overthinking it, and Sabine did have a hard time. She had to train with Kanan.
That's true
in those scenes where they kind of went away to Darksaber camp for a couple, whatevers.
Not
or
focused.
He's overthinking it. He's not just letting it flow.
I think that's a lot of it. It's an overthinking situation.
Yeah, so I mean, it stands to reason that he did cut himself pretty badly with that with that Darksaber. So
I know, man.
I just love the way that thing looks. They did such a good job. It just really, really looks great. That's right, Roth. Your focus does determine your reality. That's so accurate.
Is that what she said about it, or
no? That's a Star Wars. Is that a Star Wars thing? Somebody says that in Star Wars somewhere.
this is a Fatmatic moment if there ever was one.
Yeah,
I say Fatmatic needs to bail me out.
Oh, that is Qui-Gon. Yeah, Qui-Gon.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah. It was Qui-Gon. Yeah. So yeah, we end up back on Tatooine.
I don't remember that. Yeah.
Which I thought the really funny scene of him having to unload all his weapons because he's on commercial flight.
Space TSA.
That was hilarious.
That was really good. I
was scared that the Darksaber was going to go missing.
I was
like,
this
is
super scared of that.
I totally
this is
thought
what I love.
Yeah.
This is what I love about the choices, and of course Bryce Dallas Howard directed. But even in just the Filoni Favreau, this thing they've created, like they're not afraid to take a moment like that and literally let it just be for humor.
Yeah,
when he dumps out the whistling birds and they all fall in the thing, he's pulling the rope out, and then you see it coiled up. Like it was and so it's like everybody else. Like when he came off that thing and he opened it, I was like, Darksaber's going to be gone, and this is a part of. Like I was nervous.
Yeah,
and he opened it, and it was fine.
And he'll be without
there's
the
a part
spear.
of you where you go,
yeah.
There's a part of you that goes, they didn't have to do this at all, but they did because it ends up being funny. Like, I love that.
Well, and your audience gets really nervous about the Darksaber too. Yeah. I mean, because that's the last thing he puts in. I mean,
and he's
looks thinking, do I want to do it? Yeah.
I mean,
and then sort of the humbleness. He sort of gets humbled that he has to fly public transportation.
Yes,
like it's just kind of. And then he gets there and he sees the little Rodian. Am I saying that
little
right?
baby Greedo?
Yeah, baby Greedo.
And it just is that supposed to be?
No, it's not Greedo.
No, Greedo would have been. Never mind.
But I did see somebody posit on Twitter that for the time frame, like it could have been like a 9 or 10-year-old son of Greedo.
Son of Greedo.
Travel.
Mourning his dad.
The single parent. That's too bad. Poor Greedo's son. I mean, and I think that they were just doing some of that just to. I mean, he obviously pulls out the chainmail and looks at it again with the little, the Grogu head. So
he's missing his kid.
He's reminiscing. So it was a good scene, but for him to be going back and looking for another Razor Crest, because I mean, he thought she was going to build him a Razor Crest, and that is certainly not what she built him. But man, I love all the droids in this episode. The droids were so
a droid feast buffet.
Yeah, I mean,
there was one from that video game or whatever.
BD,
order.
The BD droid. Then there was she called it Treadwell. I don't know if it's a Treadwell droid. Yeah,
it's a Treadwell. Yeah.
It was in season 2.
Treadwell's not an individual droid; it's a Treadwell type of droid.
Yeah. Then R5, of course.
R5, my man R5
was there.
The original R5, the OG,
the R5,
the R5, exactly. And of course, her pit droid crew. A gonk droid was hanging out. I mean, we had everything. It was awesome. Every kind of droid you could ever.
I love the pit droids.
The pit droids are great for me too. Oh, there's R5.
There's R5 right there.
I've got it over
vintage
there.
Vintage R5 right there, baby.
Vintage R5. I need to start having my characters ready to show you guys. I've got a vintage R5 too. No,
it's the only place in my house I'm allowed to keep this crap. So it's just
the only thing I don't have that I really want is a gonk droid. I really want a gonk droid.
I don't have the gonk either. Yeah,
I don't have the gonk droid. Was there a Kenner gonk?
Yeah,
Okay, they did release one. I need to get my hands on that.
Grab my unimpressive. Was it red snaggletooth? Is that the common one?
Yes,
that's the common one. Yeah. The
blue
is your dad has the blue one.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Does it have the toe dent? Because that creates a whole other level of.
Well, I don't know. We had to put it in storage last year, so we would have to. We're re-putting together his office, so we'll find out soon.
There you go.
Find out soon enough. As long as it's safe, that's all that matters.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. Also from.
Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. See, I only respect the theatrical cut of Phantom Menace, which you can't access anywhere. So, except for me, who has it on a hard drive, what I got somewhere. So,
that's awesome. But just that whole sequence with the N1, I mean, it just brought back such fond memories.
Oh, that was awesome. Yeah.
I mean, just all of that stuff was great. Even the mention of the Queen of Naboo. I mean, it was just like, and she might not have been talking about Padme. She could have been talking about the other one. I don't know.
She was talking about Padme. Come on.
It could have the Whale Rider girl. It could have been her. It could have been the one after Padme.
Kira.
What's her name? I don't know. I can't remember her
name.
She was in Whale Rider. That's all I remember.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
No idea what her name is. She's from New Zealand, though. That actress, I think, is from New Zealand. There was some fantastic dialogue, by the way, in all of this. A lot of slang was used. Some new slang terms that we have never heard, like "no skin off my dip swap."
Dip swap.
That was that was the weirdest thing that I have ever heard.
Keisha Castle Hughes.
Keisha Castle Hughes. Yeah, she was the queen of Naboo after.
Keisha
that is
Castle
hard.
Hughes.
We had a Bantha Diddle. That was kind of new.
Bantha Diddle.
Bantha
what
Diddle.
Was the one
as fast as a gonks scomp jack.
Yes.
Scomp jack, that's right. And
what
to throw in an Easter egg,
as smooth as smooth as
a gonks scomp jack. But
what
that is also an Easter egg for Jedi Fallen Order people who played the game.
Oh, okay.
Because BD1 early on in the game, he has an injured Scomp link on his leg, which causes it, and Cal Kestis fixes it, and that's one of their kind of first bonding moments and that kind of whole deal.
Yeah.
And my favorite probably is the cryogenic density combustion booster.
Yeah, that was
which is the big muffler looking thing that the Jawas get for Mando.
Yeah.
Which is also what was used in the trash compactor in Star Wars to try and brace the walls.
Pretty
wow.
But it's also, and I love this because we've talked about it a couple of weeks ago with the multicolored speeder chase and the American Graffiti and George Lucas and tuner car culture and hot rods and that kind of stuff. This is hot rod speak. Like this is them talking about car mod. Yeah. You get basically like a Hemi converter on the top of this N1 that she puts in. Like it's another it's another homage to that kind of stuff and where these movies and shows and ideas come from. And I really do love that they do that.
No, I do. I loved all of that. I mean, all of that stuff was so awesome.
Did anybody else have a? Go ahead, Earl.
Oh, I'm a sucker for a building montage where it's like, let's make it better and put it together, and it's like,
Well, and did anybody else have like a childhood trauma moment where BD is trying to be the flashlight, pointing where Mando tells him? And flashback to that time when you're helping your dad and holding the flashlight. And he's like, no, shine it right here. And you're like, I'm trying. What do you want from me? Like, that hit me for real.
And I think, and I don't know this for sure, but I think those are exact lines that Han Solo said.
A little higher. Yeah, because
a little higher. Like there was some exact lines from Han.
Wait, that's from.
For sure. Well, and it was neat
that's Return of the
Jedi. With the BD droid. When he and Mando are over on like the wing piece and he's doing the projection and showing him where it's going to go.
Yeah. That's from the video game, right?
That's the map from the game. Like,
yeah.
So that is also very directly tied. So that is also feeding a whole nother group of folks, not just prequel folks, but, Fallen Order guys in particular.
Melissa very much agrees with the flashlight assistant.
See, I knew somebody would be with me on that
one. Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. Billy D. Williams said that. A little higher. A little higher.
Yeah. A little higher.
Yeah, exactly. So that ship was awesome. I mean, we got a good Dank Farrik in there also. They've said I think they say that at least every episode.
Yeah, every Mandalorian episode.
In the Mando episode, not heard at all.
No, they had that in Boba Fett earlier, or we got a Dank. We didn't get a Dank Farrik. We got I think Finnick said Dank one time. So we got just a little bit of it.
Finnick has said it. You're right.
Yeah, Finnick likes to use Dank.
The N1 Starfighter is not a very practical thing for a bounty hunter, but this is a temporary.
They hollowed out that little the little droid.
She hogged it out, as she said.
Okay, so you could bring in one bounty. You can't stack them in like you did.
I had two thoughts. One, maybe Den is just going to revert to his head chopping off ways, and all those heads will just fit neatly in that back part. But
that's fair.
When I like more, as this show has certainly talked about evolution of characters.
Yeah,
Boba. One of the things and it's the original audio from the trailers. And there's a point where he says, "I am not a bounty hunter," and then it's followed up with, "I am Boba Fett." Yeah. I think we also have the potential that we're seeing Din transition.
I think
from being a bounty hunter and needing a freezer to keep all his carbonite bounties in to me and my buddy. That I think it's setting up a transition. Yeah. And I'll say, as much as I love the N1, or as I said, from N1 to Din 1.
I see what you did there.
As much as I like that, I don't know if this ship sticks around, because there's also that part of me that's like, a dude with a kid needs more space. A dude with bounties needs more space. Like, I don't know how long we get
fun. That flying.
But they spent a lot of time on it, setting it up. So I don't know what that means, because my original theory was that Boba dies or retires and gives Boba's starship to Din, and so Din would end up with Slave One. That was one of my original theories way back when. Yeah. Maybe they trade. Maybe Boba doesn't need a ship.
Well, I think that all of these characters are going to be forced out or forced into retiring whatever they were doing, because the big bad Thrawn, and I don't even know if it's going to be in this series. I know, Nick, you pause it, but I think that like we're getting Thrawn, and he's the big bad, and that's going to be the series that they all come together. And he's not going to have time to be a bounty hunter anymore anyways. I mean,
at the end of Book of Boba Fett, he's going to be disappointed with the Pikes, and he's going to reach in for a gauntlet and say, "I'm going to do it. I guess I'll do it myself," or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Hashtag Thranos, as someone has already put out there.
Thranos. Yeah. That's kind of what Kathleen Kennedy and her team have wanted, is a series like everybody getting teamed up. I mean,
to be perfectly honest, why wouldn't you? Because we've seen how it's
exactly
worked for Marvel over the years. And we've seen the moments when Star Wars has attempted to do things right when it seems like it's going to land. Then all the Star Wars fans chime in and go, "Not my Boba Fett, not my this, not my," like Star Wars fans. And I'm right there smack in the middle of them. We are very maladjusted for being able to handle decisions in art that other people have the opportunity to create for us.
Right.
And so to look at something like, exactly. Like, I mean,
hashtag not my Star Wars.
The worst. But
Mikey, how do you feel about the sequel trilogy?
I'm not going to comment on the sequel trilogy.
No, let's not.
Different. We're talking about.
I need more whiskey, and we're going to do that, just not tonight.
So did you guys hear that? Like in one of the painted scenes in the credits, do you know where I'm going with this, Nick?
Go ahead.
That there's a over in the right hand corner, you can see the ship coming into.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Have you heard
Are you
this?
telling me I'm supposed to be paying attention to those?
Well, let's just say that, the ship that was flown by Darth Maul, in the right-hand corner.
No,
some people are speculating that Kira's about to show up. The Red Dawn's
that's
coming in.
That's not the one that I thought you were going with. So
okay.
I need to do
somebody
oh my gosh.
Go to the Ludwig Göransson where they show his
where they show his name. Oh no. All right, now I'm hyped. Now I'm fully hyped, because I've been wanting Kira back.
You're talking about concept art though, right?
Yeah, that's the concept art.
Something that was a part of an early
Oh no, it doesn't mean anything, but the fact that it's there, Ryfun. The fact that it's there.
Mephisto is coming in on Darth
Mephisto's coming. I actually had no idea I was supposed to be paying attention to those concept art things, but
I love this. But
I love checking them out because I just love, it gives me that Macquarie, vibe that I love so much. And
the art's great.
It's not Macquarie. Yeah, it's not Macquarie, but I just love concept art.
More shows and movies should start.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that'd be awesome. I mean, and eventually it'll come out in an art book, because I think season 2's Book of Boba Fett art book just came out.
Or is coming out soon.
I saw people that get those type of things early were getting them. I feel like Kira. I feel like we're getting Kira. I'm with Roth here, but I mean, I don't know if it's going to be my theory that it was the space person, or I mean, sand person. Because she's coming back at some point too. I mean, we're going to get that character back. She's not dead. I mean, we didn't see a body. She's not dead.
She'll come flying in, the last episode. and
She'll
say
be here.
Boba Fett.
Book of Boba Fett season 2.
She'll be like, or whatever that sound is.
That was pretty good, Earl. Okay, I'm gonna start looking at the concept art. I will start looking at the concept art. I haven't really been paying attention. Look, I watch this thing at 2 a.m. When it ends, I turn it off and try and go to bed. I'm just trying to go to bed right when that thing ends.
That's your fault, man. You got to be fresh,
dude. I'm so hyped about chapter. I'm hyped about chapter 6. Yeah, exactly. I'm very hyped.
Only 2 more episodes.
Yes, chapter 6 is the next one. I'm very hyped for it, so I'm ready for it. The penultimate episode of every single series ever is always the best one. So I'm very
I disagree. Mando season 2 had a pretty great finale.
This is true. That's true. That did have a good finale. You're right about that.
That's only a Game of Thrones thing. That's not a
penultimate thing. Mostly Game of Thrones.
Mostly Game of Thrones. Oh gosh. All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up. Did we miss anything that we need to talk about in this particular episode?
I got to all my notes, which were not a lot.
As did I. I took a lot of notes, and we got into most of them.
Did we talk about Pele and having a Jawa boyfriend?
No, I didn't want to.
We didn't want to talk. I was just gonna try and. I mean, Earl. I was just gonna move on.
We can't say it's a boyfriend.
Terrible image.
They're a little hairy, Earl. I mean,
I was gonna say
furry or whatever.
Mikey just said it. She talks about how they're furry, and she pauses. And she does like the hair.
No.
That's Amy Sedaris. Yeah.
Amy Sedaris. Like, I love Amy Sedaris. And
I bet she improv that.
Like, it was so, it was money. And it hit me the very first time. I was like, that's really good.
Yes.
I don't think I even noticed that.
It is funny. I don't want to think about it too much.
I bet
it defies logic.
There was one line that leads me to believe that she is going to get to go off planet when she says she's never gotten to go off planet.
She's a local girl. She's never gone off planet.
She's going to join Team Den, and she's going to go off. I bet she's going to. Look, I mean, you got to keep having her come back. She's so good. I mean, you can't.
Great.
You can't not. Have
I think you're right. I think they were definitely setting it because you said it in 2 separate things.
Yeah,
I'm a local girl. Yeah, and I've never been off planet. Like those were very intentionally planted little seeds of. At some point, she's doing something else.
Yeah,
Jawa love. Jawa love is love.
Jawa love. All right, Nick. Where can the people find you each and every week on the YouTubes and the internets?
Really, the easiest thing to do is just go to @WhillsPod, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on TikTok, which I don't use at all, so don't bother with that. Twitter @WhillsPod. That will help you find me for Podcast of the Whills and all the stuff that I am doing, teaming up with my buddy Pete from around the galaxy, a part of the ATG Cast feed. And every Friday night, including this Friday night at 8 p.m. Central Time, that's where I live. Streaming Star Wars. We'll be on, live talking about whatever's going to happen tomorrow. We have no idea. And just digging into it, getting a little bit deeper. We've had some great guests the last couple of weeks. Last week we had Heather Antos, who is a comic book editor. She's one of as she said herself, she's the fairy godmother of Black Chrysanthemum. Helped shepherd him in, work on those comic books. The week before, we had Patrick Kottner, who's a part of the George Lucas Talk Show, which is a really fun, weird, improv Second City, if you're into that kind of thing. Yeah. A lot of fun. We may have a guest this week. We're still working on that. But even if we don't, it's going to be us hanging out, having a drink on a Friday night, and talking about Star Wars and all its latest streaming offerings.
It's a very fun show. I've enjoyed it the last several weeks, and I will enjoy it again on Friday as well, I think. Ooh, I don't know if I can this Friday. We'll see.
Come on now.
We'll see. I'm supposed to go do something, but I don't know if I want to do it. So I might see it or not. I don't know. I'm supposed to go see it.
You're supposed to enjoy it.
I'm supposed to go see a band, and I just don't know if I want to. I don't know. Ryfun.
Hold on. Sorry.
Oh.
One more important update.
Uh-oh.
Auburn's up 70-57 with 10 minutes to go.
Oh, dude, they're dominating.
They're crazy right now.
That's
Thank you,
early. It's early.
There's a lot of game left.
There's a lot of game left.
A lot of game left.
Ryfun, where can the people find you on the interwebs?
You can find me on Twitter at SCPSH3. You can find me on Letterboxd at GRyfun, though I have only logged like 8 movies this year. I've been binging a lot of shows lately. Just finished season 4 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I'm getting through it all, and I'm hoping to pick up the movie watching this weekend by watching the moon fall.
Dude, oh no! I'm going late Friday night to see Moonfall. I'm going as late as I possibly.
Are you, Michael?
Yeah, I'm doing the 10:15 show, baby.
What? Where's my invite?
You can come. I didn't know you would want to see Moonfall. That's not very pretentious. I didn't have any idea.
No. If it's awful but can't be awful, I'm all in.
Yeah, I've heard it is.
Yeah, I have to.
Well, okay. I mean, I'm going at 10:15 on Friday.
I'll DM you. I'll DM
me.
Is that brother. Is that what the kids say?
I don't know.
Just slide into his DMs, Earl.
Page me.
Just to give
I'll page
Jacob's comment normally I'm at like 60 or 70 by this point. In January I binge a ton of movies, but I've been doing a lot of shows, so
I'm at 35. So there you go.
Hey, new Peacemaker tomorrow.
I know.
Yes,
just saying.
I've been watching that as well.
It's a good show. It's a good show.
It's a lot of
Earl,
fun.
you'll be back here in just a second, so I'm not going to tell people where they can't find you because you're off the
I'm
grid.
not anywhere.
Ryfun and Nick, thanks so much for joining this evening. This has been really fun talking about Chapter 5 of the Book of Boba Fett. Chapter 6, just a few short hours away, directed by Dave Filoni. Very much looking forward to it. Can't wait to stay up and watch that. I know you guys are probably not staying up, but I will stay up till 2 a.m. and watch that. So we're going to do our Yellowstone / 1883 transition here, and then we will be right back. Thanks, guys. And the ever so abrupt entrance for 1883, because there's no easy way to do that. But we are back. Man, I missed a week of 1883 because this show is awesome. Dr. Earl, welcome back. Earl Visla. Is that a reference to 1883? I don't know.
No, I'm changing my name.
I'm kidding. And Roth, I missed you last week, buddy. How's it going?
It's going wonderful. I still had a lot of fun in the comments. Maybe since the Yellowstone 1883 stuff, the most Jacob comment I've been in a long time. So it was nice.
You were rocking it, man. You were.
I also feel like I think my facial hair has moved over to yours somehow.
Yeah, I've given up on.
Yeah, look at clean shaven.
I've given up on life.
We still got
so yeah, I see the mustache.
Oh man, look at you.
It's not good, but it's
pencil
what I got.
thin stash going there. Yeah.
No, it looks great. It looks great.
Yeah.
Man. Well, first of all, I want to plug the Yellowstone YouTube page. It is awesome. So they had
Interesting.
They started a YouTube page, I guess, probably about like a month ago, but they really started like adding a ton of behind the scenes stuff that we haven't seen in those like making of episodes that you can watch on Paramount Plus. So if you want a good follow the I think it's like the Yellowstone YouTube page, and they put 1883 stuff on there. They put Stone stuff on there. And I've watched a bunch of the behind the scenes stuff. So it's pretty cool. So check that out, because there'll be a point here where we're going to be waiting for season 4 of Yellowstone, or is it season 4 or 5? That's right. Good grief. Season 5 of Yellowstone, season 2 of 1883, which technically hasn't been announced yet. But
what is happening?
Random Dave showing up for Yellowstone talk.
What?
And I know Dave doesn't watch Yellowstone, so that's hilarious.
And psych, we're not even talking Yellowstone. We're talking 1883.
1883. That's right. According to, and I don't do this often, but according to IMDb, Taylor Sheridan directed this episode.
Oh,
now has he directed all the episodes?
No, This is the first one. It was that gal that did most of them.
Yeah. According to IMDb, he directed
Alexandra Voros.
That's who's been
been directing.
Yeah, apparently he directed this one. But
I did not even catch that.
Now we don't, we have that comment that IMDb can be wrong about a lot of things quite often. Anyways, but
we don't think Taylor Sheridan directed it. I don't
know. I mean, if we're going with it, look, the way the episode was directed, it was fantastic.
It was a great episode. Yeah.
I'm going to say he did direct it. Now we know he's written all the episodes. We do know that. But as far as this particular episode, right off the bat, it's called "Boring the Devil," by the way, which we get some conversation about that. Like why it would be called that. Release the Dave cut of extra. Right on. We start off right away with Sam Elliott's character Brennan.
Oh man, what a good scene!
Talking with Elsa. Good grief. This was an Elsa heavy episode.
This is a grieving Elsa.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this was a grieving Elsa. She was
hard road on this one.
Yeah.
She's not pregnant.
No,
there went my whole theory. I was going to say there went my whole theory that
I was quite surprised by that scene. I was like, okay, well,
yeah. She's definitely not pregnant. I need some privacy, Mama.
That's all. I wish that's all they would have given us. We didn't need the part right before it.
I know. No,
she was quite disgusting this episode. Snot going everywhere. The other stuff.
Yeah, she was having a hard time. So I have no idea who this Spencer kid is that we saw in the other kid that we saw in Yellowstone.
Yes.
Oh, right.
I thought because
that was my whole theory. That was my whole theory. No.
That's Colton, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's Colton. That is James LaGrosse's son. James LaGrosse is a character actor who's been around forever. Yeah, this is his son. If you look at the guy, he looks just like him. Noah LaGrosse is his name. But yeah, he looks just like his dad. I mean, and Dave being in the chat, Dave will attest that James LaGrosse has been around forever. That dude has been a character actor for a really long time. So his son, Noah LaGrosse, plays the Colton character, who is apparently the quick replacement for Ennis. But whatever. I mean,
I kind of hate that for that actor who played Ennis. It's like, well, thanks.
Yeah, and I think I even saw an interview with him that said he didn't know that his character was going to die so soon. But whatever. I mean, hey, it's Hollywood. It happens. Yeah.
He's got his SAG card.
The other very on the nose Taylor Sheridan casting was James Jordan as Cookie.
Yes.
Oh, that was great. And I liked Cookie.
First off, of course, his name is Cookie.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Also,
of course.
So I had to look this part up. I knew the guy that played this guy, but Cookie. So I was like, I know that name of Cookie from other Western.
Oh yeah, he's been in other
But so Cookie, the character was played by Andy Devine, who was the sidekick of Roy Rogers in 10 feature films.
Wow.
So Andy Devine played a character named Cookie. Andy Devine was also we were talking a lot about Robin Hood. In the Discord, and he was the voice of the Sheriff of Nottingham. And he was also the sheriff in The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
Yes. Oh, okay. And
he talks like this.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Hey there, guys.
Yeah,
he's got that really like Robin. yeah.
Robin Hood?
Yeah.
Robin Hood. Yeah, that's a
dude. I love that Robin Hood. That is one of my
I
was like that.
One of my favorites.
In the Discord, we were talking. It's either Robin Hood or Hercules for me that are my favorite.
I got to go find that.
So, friend of the show, Skywalking Through Neverland, did a fantastic Robin Hood episode. Their most recent episode was all about Robin Hood. So, if you want to listen to a
great
Robin
Roger
Hood
Miller soundtrack.
Oh yeah,
we play all the time on
the. Okay, anyways, 1884. So this is the third show that James Jordan has been in because he's also in Mayor of Kingstown.
He's like Taylor Sheridan's. He's his character actor.
Well, him and that other guy, him and Dylan is the other guy's last name that's in. So he hasn't been in 1883 yet, but he was in Yellowstone and in Mayor of Kingstown. But today, good news, Mayor of Kingstown season 2, baby. I'm excited.
Oh, really?
I'm excited.
Sorry.
The Roger Miller Deucecast Extra theme. That's right. That's awesome. So they haven't traveled that far. They are still, although they're finally in Abilene, right?
No.
Or no,
they are just about to leave Texas. When they cross that river, they will be in Oklahoma territory, otherwise known as.
So they're going up, right? They're going up.
They're going up, yeah. So what little city are they in right now? The outpost.
They are in
an outpost, isn't it? I don't even know.
Where the heck did I put that?
No, they were talking about
Crossing.
Yes, that's
Doan's Crossing.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
I meant to look that up if that was a real place or not.
Whenever they do that, sort of gray it out a little bit and show the name of the place, it was an actual place. So, I mean, Taylor Sheridan doesn't mess around.
That's true.
So
they are right on the...
Very authentic. As our friend Rhett, who is now watching 1883, says, why do the women have to have armpit hair? And I was like, it's 1883, man. Come on.
Tell him I had the same exact
authenticity, brother.
The first episode.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is the Red River that they are going to be crossing.
Yes.
The Great Western Cattle Trail is where Doan's Crossing, historic landmark in Jackson County, Oklahoma.
There you go. So they're yet again coming upon another river that they have to cross. Now, we haven't seen, I guess this next episode is going to be them crossing it, or do you think they're even going to bother?
I don't know, because they talked so much about how it's going to take so long to do it, and they're going to have to drive the wagons.
They got the boat.
Sending
people crossing that boat.
Ferry them over. And so
good night, Melissa. Good night, Melissa.
Have a good night, Melissa. Thanks for stopping by.
I have a feeling we don't. I think we pick up somewhere in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I like that they are going slow, but at some point we need to move along.
We don't want to go river by river, do we? I mean,
we don't want to go river by river. That'd be a little much.
Well, here we are again, another river.
Another river that we've got to cross.
Tim McGraw will be Sam Elliott's age by the time the series wraps up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if they're going really this slow, if this doesn't get a season 2, that would be a travesty, which it will. I mean, 100% get a season 2.
If it doesn't, they're going to need to do some serious Game of Thrones time travel moving, like they did in the last 2 seasons.
Hey, we're in Oregon.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how it happened.
The Duttons, they stayed in Montana. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, we're
So, that whole scene with Brennan talking about his wife and the reason he's going to the ocean, dude, so good. I mean, give this man an Emmy. Give him an Emmy.
Please.
I mean, I hope that they do find this. I hope they find this show and they give that guy an Emmy, because he's old anyways and not going to be around much longer with us, because it just seems like everybody's dying.
And let me say this.
Yes,
besides the narrations, what is her name? Isabel May?
Isabel Brown. right? No, it is.
No, Isabel May.
Why did I say Brown? Who is Isabel Brown?
I don't know.
That's somebody.
Downtown, bad Leroy Brown. I don't know.
Isabel. I'm sorry. That's a turning point person.
But Isabel May is doing a good job too in acting. I would not expect her to go to these depths, and they're taking
she's a great actress. I mean, I just the narration.
Sir.
It's actor now.
Whoa,
it's all just
Michael.
One thing.
Whoa,
my bad, guys.
Michael, we're getting canceled.
The narration thing was a bit of a misstep. And that's odd. I haven't seen.
Make me a bird to fly far away as I go through the grass fields.
I know.
Yes, I have a feeling in season 2 we will not be getting it as much. Hopefully, not at all.
I mean, obviously Taylor Sheridan's in love with it because it's and he has said multiple times on these behind the scenes things that he doesn't give a rip if people watch his show or whatever. He's like, I don't make this for the fans. I make this for me. He's like, I don't care if you don't like my show. Like, dude. Obviously a lot of people are watching it. But
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
Does it make sense though? She doesn't seem like it would be interesting if she was like writing something occasionally, like she was a journalist
diary
writer type person. But she just seems like a girl who wants to be outside doing roughhouse writing. She doesn't seem like, and these things that are being spoken are like these literary, like, I don't know. I mean, they're not magically great, but I'm just saying it seems a little weird.
The one thing I said to you, Earl, that I liked this particular episode is that her darker tone at the beginning of the episode, that kind of worked for me because the character's in a dark place right now.
Like she had a gun in her lap. Shay, and she was thinking about doing the Shay move.
So I kind of liked the darker tone of the narration, just how she lowered her voice, and you could tell that she was just in a darker place. That worked for me. I mean, and then obviously we get a lot more narration throughout the episode that kind of reverts back to what we're used to. But I mean, it's not like the thing that's going to keep me from watching the show at all.
Right. It's just something that I tune out at this point, and I unless for the purpose of this show that I write it down so I can say it poorly.
I hate to say it. I tuned it out too. That's
I couldn't tell you a thing that she
I just kind of wait for it. I just kind of wait for it to be over.
Which is fine because I mean they're shooting cool scenery and whatnot, so it's not
and she's easy on the eyes. I mean,
sometimes not in this episode.
Well, she's snotty, but that's.
Come on, guys.
Get that woman
the love of her life. She just lost the love of her life. Come on.
The love of her life that she's known for like a few weeks.
For an 18, 19-year-old, this is the first.
This is everything. This is
that was her life.
I get it. Poor her. But look, she's upgraded to Colton now. She's already over it.
Colton. No, she's already said
that guy's
Colton's
dead.
He's
another dead dude.
But she was flirting with him.
She was flirting with him.
So she's over it. No more Enos. Poor Enos. Rest in peace. Over somewhere in the Texas plains.
Thought I'd be your husband for life. I didn't know you were going to put me. That's my Enos imitation.
That's your Enos imitation. We got a lot of fun stuff.
You are pretty.
We got a lot of fun stuff with Faith Hill and Rita Wilson together.
That
was really
Jacob didn't love that.
You didn't like that part?
Of the cameos.
Rita Wilson was fun. I mean, and it makes sense. Tom Hanks was in the episode 1 or 2 or whatever it was, and of course you're going to have Rita Wilson. Apparently they're like really good friends with
Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. I think like
crazy.
Are they really?
Yeah, in real life, which is why they're on the show. I mean, that's why they did the favor. Like, why else would Tom Hanks? He probably worked for free to come on. I mean, and say maybe like 1 or 2 lines.
What did I say? I think there was like 23 seconds of screen time or something. That.
He did that as a favor to Tim McGraw. For all the times that Tim McGraw's got
that
him
beard out for those 23 seconds.
No, it's a very fake beard that he had on.
110 seconds he was on screen.
110 seconds. I liked the Rita Wilson stuff just because, I don't know, Rita Wilson doesn't act much anymore, so it was cool seeing her.
I was glad to see her out there doing
She did make a comment. Children can have that effect. Mine sure did. So, they're talking about Chet Hanks. Yeah, man.
Chet Hanks is a goober. That dude needs. Talk about the black sheep of the family, man. Chet Hanks. Dude. Aspiring rapper Chet Hanks.
Mm-hmm. No, let's not go there. So did we skip over the part where Thomas? Well,
yes,
no. Okay, so
we're going to get to it.
He's in Doan's Crossing. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to jump ahead. Well, first of all, Faith Hill goes with Elsa into town.
Yeah,
and that one little beady-eyed little dude, I guess, was making googly eyes at her. And dude, she doesn't need to be carrying a gun right now.
No, and they took it. Yeah,
and I like that. I like the whole situation where her dad showed up and he said,
"Yeah, James took the gun away.
You go back. You go back right now to camp."
Yeah, exactly.
Which I like to see a little.
That's all right.
Fine, sign me up, Taylor Sheridan. I can't hack my way out of a paper bag, but I can
get the mustache twirling. You need to pull that thing out, man.
I know. I need a mustache. What? Not oil, but goop.
The beard oil or whatever.
I know what you're talking about. The wax.
Yeah, mustache wax. There we go.
Mustache wax. Yeah, no. Elsa was wanting to shoot another person, so her dad had to take that gun away from her.
She is Beth Dutton.
I mean, through and through.
That's a good point. I mean, at least not quite to the level of Beth. Oh my Lord! But yeah, she's
close.
She's well on her way. Beth.
No.
Yeah.
She's well on her way.
Once she hooks up with the Indian after he saves her after getting shot with an arrow, then she's going to be. That's my theory. I'm calling.
That's your theory. Oh, okay.
At that beginning where she shot, boom, and she shoots him, and then
I could see this going that way because
I like that.
In that behind the scenes documentary, they talk a lot about. There's a whole segment dedicated to we're going to portray.
And we haven't seen much of them yet.
The right way.
They're coming.
We're going in Oklahoma, though. So in Oklahoma is apparently where we're going to have a lot of interaction with the Native Americans. So
because at this point in history, they're all, for the most part, on reservations.
Oh, so okay. They're already there at this point. Okay.
Yeah, so they're in Oklahoma. I'm sure they'll run into some in Wyoming as well. But definitely Oklahoma will be.
Interesting. Wait, they're not there. What do you mean they're on reservations? Not like government given reservations. Oh, they are at this point? Oh, okay.
That started with Andrew Jackson.
Yeah, I don't know my American history at all.
Very true.
I'm a horrible
not
American.
Before Andrew Jackson.
Yeah,
but
the Trail of Tears, Michael.
Yep.
Alabama history. Didn't you take Alabama? Oh no, wait, you were somewhere.
No, I didn't take Alabama history.
Hey, but before this whole radio thing, I was going to be a history teacher. So.
Oh. Okay.
I shouldn't say that because some of it kind of.
Now we're going to rely on everything historic.
Bye, David.
Just don't question it. Just don't question it when I say it because it could be wrong.
No, but hey, you know more than I do. So, anyways, wait.
Auburn's still up 90-72, 3:45 to go.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Wyoming had a big win against our rivals CSU last night. Won in overtime.
Let's bring it, man. Let's
Boise State, the leader in the conference, is Thursday night. If they win that game, they are going to be ranked in the top 25.
Oh, has Wyoming ever been ranked in the top 25?
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? We had Larry Nance Jr.
Oh, okay. So I don't know basketball.
We beat number 1 San Diego State in I think it was 2014. I was there. We rushed the court. It was awesome.
Really?
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
So is Wyoming like a 1 AAA team or no? I'm just kidding.
We're D1, baby. We almost won the Mountain West tournament last year. We I think we went on a 15-game win streak to end the year until we lost.
That's cute. That's so cute.
Hey, we want to see you guys in the tourney. We want to see.
That's right. Wyoming and Auburn.
Let's bring it. Auburn and Wyoming. Let's go.
Game. Totally game.
We would live podcast that or something. That'd be too much. Oh gosh, what else happened in this episode?
Let's see.
There was another really good scene with more Thomas stuff. Thomas,
he's looking around that store. Oh well, first he gets the cook, I guess.
The cook, exactly. The very expensive cook.
Yeah, I'm like, Thomas, haggle a little bit, buddy. Don't just go, well, okay, that sounds good. And I'm like,
they're gonna run out of their money by the end.
I'm not sure I trust this cook that much. He's a little shifty cookie.
I get this reference now.
Nice.
I like that. It's good stuff.
Yes, Thomas has found himself a wife, it seems.
Aussie Nate.
Yeah, okay, Earl, the reason he said 52 out of 100 is because that's what I gave Two Hands as my rating. 52 out of 100.
Gotcha.
Anyways, 1883, way better than Two Hands.
I will agree with that.
I'm just gonna have to say. I mean, sorry, but yeah, my bad. Yeah, he finds this mirror. I'm like, what?
It's French.
It's French. What?
It's a French mirror.
And he's acquainted with the French because he dated a French woman once. Mm-hmm. We found that out in the first episode.
The word toilet.
Yes, exactly.
Or as he says, a toilet.
Toilet. Le toiletta.
Man, his scenes were good though. So
he's good.
I don't know the name of the gypsy woman. What's her? Do we know?
Can we just call her Gypsy Woman? Wasn't there wasn't there a Fleetwood Mac song?
No, Noemi.
No, that's right, Noemi, because he's calling her ma'am, and she's like, call me Noemi.
Yeah. Played by Graciela Brancusi. I mean, I guess she's legitimately a...
Yeah, no, they hired people...
Gypsy?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if she's legitimately a gypsy, but...
She was born in Romania. Yeah, she's legitimately a gypsy.
Oh,
that's where gypsies are from.
This is
Taylor
authenticity here.
Taylor Sheridan goes so far to find an actress born in Romania to play his gypsy. That's pretty authentic.
And I loved his scene with that because she's like, "Why'd you give me this?" And he's like, "Well, because what did he say?
He said something like, "If I was pretty as you, I'd want to look at myself
all day." Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I like how he's playing it like I'm still in that slave mindset that I don't engage very much.
Yeah,
and she has to bring him out of that a little bit. And then she goes, "Well, that sounds like love if you're taking care."
Yeah.
Man, what a good scene, man. The way LaMonica Garrett, man. I'm just you need to keep giving him shout outs, Mikey.
I know I should
and then get him on the show.
Nick, like you need to get him on the show. I'm like, I don't have that in me. I'm not good at the whole guest thing.
We'll help you out. We know how to talk to. We can chat it up.
He had an interesting interview this week though, where he said that he felt like his character was kind of like the heart of the show, and I kind of agree.
I agree.
I mean, he's certainly the one that's keeping Brennan like
he's kind of engaged
in the process. The moral compass,
right. That's good.
I mean, certainly. Because he's keeping Brennan alive, basically. I mean, Brennan would have killed himself.
If you're gonna do it before the sun drops.
The sun drops. Yeah, that was good stuff. But
that's
the
first episode though.
So they're together now. The gypsy and Thomas are together now, which is interesting. But I mean, I guess that'll be a through line through the rest of the season. We do get, we've mentioned him a couple times, but Colton comes on as a guy because they needed another hand.
Right.
They're down one, obviously, Rip Ennis. But they get Colton, and I was like, okay, because I remember seeing Noah LaGrosse in the behind the scenes thing. I think he was there briefly.
Probably in Cowboy Camp.
Yeah, Cowboy Camp. I saw him briefly during the Cowboy Camp stuff. Earl, did you ever get a chance to watch that? The behind the scenes.
I watched 1883. I watched something behind the scenes. It was on the. Yeah, I saw it. I saw it.
Yeah. He was in that episode.
Talked about the camp. Okay.
And that's where that actor that I guess is an authentic Native American was talking about how they're respecting it and not treating it as a situation where the Indians are uber violent. Although they don't shy away from the other characters saying that though, because that's what that's the experience they've had with them.
Well, but what we see at the beginning of the show though is their camps burning, and there's good Indians and bad Indians, Mikey.
Just like people.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, maybe that's because they are people.
That's right.
Just like people. That's a great comment, Mikey.
Sorry.
Whoa! First the actress comment, and now this.
I know, dude.
I'm
off the rails tonight. Look, I'm in a bad place in life. I'm just gonna flat out say that. But I'm not doing great right now. But I'm here. So.
That was wonderful.
Oh my gosh!
We love our Native American fans. We love them. Mikey just left. Did you give up? Mikey gave up.
We did have a nice scene with Wade this episode.
I like Wade. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I would like to take a moment. You're listening to 103.3 The Range. I'm Jacob, and it's time for some more cowboy poetry. Here's Need by Wade.
Oh, okay, good.
Stars for a blanket, ground for a bed. Good horse, open country. That's all a cowboy needs. Guess it's all a cowgirl needs too.
Wow.
That's good.
Wade. He also needs a chocolate bar.
Yes.
That's right.
And I think Margaret got a little too drunk to remember the chocolate bar.
I know. I felt bad for him. I almost kind of wanted Wade and Elsa, like, even though he's not that, he just seems like the kind of the more like grounded dude. But unfortunately now Colton's shown up, and so she's going to end up with him.
Yeah,
actually, she's going to end up with
a pretty boy though. Colton's just a pretty boy.
He's trouble. I'm worried Dutton's.
I don't know that he's trouble. I just think that he's just I don't know. I don't think she's going to fall for him.
He's probably a dead man at some point on this trail.
I think a lot of people are going to die. Well, they've lost a lot of people. I mean,
they're going to get like 2 wagons to Oregon.
Yeah, basically. I mean, that's all that's going to be left. We got to go
through the Donner Pass. It's going to be bad.
Donner Pass.
Oh, that's a different.
This
story.
Is something that I'm curious about the show and where they end it, because they talked about the route they're taking. They're going through South Pass, which is in Wyoming.
Right.
So at some point, I'm assuming, so they kind of go right by where Casper. I guess Casper's probably around. At least Fort Casper's there. So I'm assuming that's the point that the Duttons kind of leave and head north, and they go west to Salt Lake.
So we're assuming more than one season, right?
Yes.
There has to be. They can't.
Like how many more episodes do we have this season?
There's at least 4 more, if not more than that. I mean, I think they're doing 10 episodes.
Well, we're about 5 in right now.
This was episode 6.
Yes.
This was 6.
6. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So probably 4 more. Okay.
They have 10.
Okay.
On IMDb, which who knows?
Yeah.
How IMDb accurate that is. They've got a title for the 10th episode.
No, don't. Might have spoilers. Be careful.
It's not a spoiler. It's a location, which is very confusing to me. It is titled Hell's Half Acre,
which is where?
Which is in southwest Wyoming.
That's I've been to Hell's Half Acre.
Yeah.
Southwest Wyoming. So they have to they must have to go a different route than they want to go.
I guess not southwest. It's central Wyoming. It's west of Casper.
Okay, so they're at least going to get to Wyoming.
That could work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always get that and the Flaming Gorge confused, which is in southwest Wyoming. So I guess they could get all the way there by the end of the season.
Do you even Wyoming, bro?
I know. But fun fact about Hell's Half Acre, that is where Starship Troopers was filmed.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
That's pretty
awesome. The majority of the extras, I think all of the extras in that movie are all like Casper and Wyoming residents.
Wow.
All right. Cool. I think
Mikey's done.
No, I think IMDb's wrong. They're saying Taylor Sheridan's like directing the rest of the episodes of the series.
He could be.
That's crazy. That's a lot for. Yeah, maybe it's right, because Christina Alexandra Voros and they co-direct the next episode together.
Yeah.
So maybe they're right. I don't know. That's interesting. Which, hey, that'll mean for some good episodes then.
Yeah.
Looks like this one was rated 8.5 out of 10 on IMDb. So not necessarily the favorite episode. The favorite is still episode 5, which is 9.4. That was a rough episode where Elsa killed people and stuff. But
yes.
Yeah.
But that's where things got a little more taken a little more serious.
Yes, exactly. So we know they make it to Wyoming then in the first season.
If IMDb is to be believed.
Well, I think they're to be believed.
I mean, title-wise, you think they would be accurate. They're not going to. Right. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if you look at IMDb, when it pertains to Book of Boba Fett, they say Harrison Ford's in an episode.
Mm-hmm.
So
next episode.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I think so. I can't.
Wait a minute. We need a. Okay.
He's still here. What happened in the basketball game?
We got 53 seconds. Auburn's up 95-75. 20 points above.
Yeah, I think we're fine.
War Eagle, baby.
I need Nick to start watching this show.
He doesn't have Paramount Plus.
Oh, he doesn't. Okay. Well, that's more understandable. I thought he was just.
Wait. Hang on.
Just out of time.
No.
Is he just hanging out in the back field there, Mikey?
Yes. Oh man.
I like his quote about good guys are up. Wow.
Okay. Yeah, the good guys are up.
But we love our University of Alabama brothers as well and sisters.
I like Nate Oates a lot.
Yes.
Cool dude. Alabama's coach, right?
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. I think so.
Oh, okay.
Great cut.
Thank you very much.
That's all I have.
So we have Dutton going down to talk with. Let's see. I can't remember.
Oh, that's right.
Does he go talk to Elsa first, or does he go get Margaret? Who's
he has to get Margaret, and Margaret's drunk, and so she's kind of like being kind of mean to him.
I'll never forgive you.
Never forgive him.
He's like, I'm never gonna forgive myself. Is that what he says or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's pretty down on himself. He's talking about people that he's killed all the time, and pretty down on himself.
That was a very good conversation about how like you didn't kill that guy. He was gonna die no matter what.
That was a great line. He was already bleeding out.
Yeah.
So he was already dead.
Yeah.
And I love that whole dude. Let me just say, Tim McGraw in this episode. I mean, all episodes he's doing great, but man, just that speech he had about the first guy he saw killed, the flag bearer. Oh man, I actually got a little. I don't know why this show's just.
No, I'm the same way, dude. I get very emotional when I watch the show. It's really good. I mean, the acting's just really good in it. I mean, there's a long line of country music stars that have been able to. Good actors.
Chris Christopherson.
Dwight Yoakam.
You said good.
Dude, he's Dwight Yoakam. Dwight Yoakam's awesome. What are you talking about?
Cry Macho? He was not good in Cry Macho, but nothing was really
nothing was good in Cry Macho.
We can't forget about the Toby Keith movies that have been released.
Oh, no.
Fear for My Horses.
Clint Black and whatever that crap movie he was in. That one movie he was in. Dave loves that. What's that stupid movie called?
Straight Country?
No, that's George Strait. Pure Country, which is a fantastic movie.
Come on.
Dude. Pure Country is fantastic.
He's good in that. Right.
And two great songs, Heartland and the love song from it, are just fantastic.
The music's fine, but the movie. Come on, dude. The movie's horrible.
Final score.
There we go. 100. Final score. Season sweep. You love to see it. That's good stuff. It's good stuff.
It's craziness. We're not a basketball.
You do love to see it. Look, I'm not even.
Trace Adkins is going to be in that new show with Susan Sarandon.
Dude, Trace Adkins. Now that's a dude that's not a good actor. Trace Adkins.
My mother's going to be very upset with you.
He was in a movie, like he filmed a movie in Birmingham that Mother's Day Out.
Mother's Day Out, yeah.
Because my girlfriend was an extra in that movie, so she said. Anyway, that's another whole story. But.
Does she have a SAG card?
No.
I automatically always think anybody that's an extra in anything needs to have a SAG card.
No. This is not
Nick, do you have a SAG card?
No.
What do we do? What's going on?
I don't know. This second half of the episode has been off the rails, and I love it.
I do too.
Oh gosh. Okay. What else did we miss? Did we miss anything?
I think that was about it. I don't have any other notes.
I mean, obviously, she comes to some kind of peace. Doesn't Sam Elliott talk to her again a little bit? There's another
at the very end of the episode. He has another, but it's short. Like they hold hands briefly because she was like, "You were the only one that came and said anything to me about it,
about him,
about him specific, about Ennis dying." And so they held hands, and he got teary eyed because he's thinking about his daughter. That's dead. Dude, come on, so good.
Shay's pretty upset that Dutton is right about the river thing.
He said,
and how to do it.
Yes. Thomas is like, I'm sorry.
It is fascinating just how like each day is so valuable to them on how fast they make it, because
they try to get they got to beat winter.
Spend 2 days doing this, you better make up a couple days somewhere else, because going forward you're going to spend another couple days doing something else.
Yeah.
Dude, Bruce Pearl, what in the world? He's just like he's lost his mind, dude. He knows how to really get the fans going.
No, he does. So I mean, to that point, it seems like Brennan is still not like a huge fan of Dutton's. Like they still like clash a little bit. Like he wants to disagree with him about everything. Like where Dutton's like, we have to be the ones to take these like this cattle over. We have to be the ones to take the wagons over. Like they cannot do it on their own. And he's like, this is going to take forever. And I was like, it's either it takes forever or everybody dies.
Yeah, or you lose half of them again.
Yeah,
I do like the scene where Dutton is like, I'm driving the thing this time. I'm not going to lose you. And what did she say to him? She goes,
well, she said she's perfectly capable, but he's like, no, I don't want you.
And like, you can never forgive me for this too. Add it to the list. And she's like,
add it to the list. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So I just like their relationship. I think
it's good.
Well,
he's very much like his great grandchild in the sense that he's no BS. Is it two greats or one great?
Great.
Are we talking about John Dutton?
John Dutton. Yeah. That's just great grandchild then, right?
Oh, okay. Because we're seeing John Senior that we've seen in the show, right? Right?
No. We're seeing James Dutton,
right? And his son is John Senior, who we've seen in Yellowstone.
Who we saw, who was Dabney Coleman, in that one season, and then John Dutton's obviously Kevin Costner, so it's his great grandson. Yeah, he's very much like his great grandson.
And I'll be honest,
just no BS, basically.
If this wasn't even connected to Yellowstone, I would be fine without. I mean, it's just a great story anyway.
Well, I mean, and there's a lot of people that are saying that the connection kind of like takes away from the show, and I mean, I think even Sam Elliott said a little bit like he's tired of people comparing it to Yellowstone. Because it's very different. It's a Western. I mean, it's a straight up Western. Yellowstone's more like Dallas.
Yellowstone is Dallas or Succession set in Montana.
It's more cutthroat, and this is more. I'm glad. Yeah,
it's you can separate the two. Like you don't even have to have seen Yellowstone to enjoy this.
Right.
And in fact, my father-in-law is watching 1883 and not watching Yellowstone at all. Because he just like prefers Westerns. I mean, and so it's just kind of.
Is he liking it?
He loves it. Yeah, he thinks it's awesome.
It's so good.
I mean, Sam Elliott is like the super get. That's a huge get for Taylor Sheridan to get him in the show.
Oh yeah.
Because if they didn't get a name like that, I think you'd have a lot of people not willing to risk watching a Tim McGraw and a Faith Hill show. Right. So you had to get had to get a Sam Elliott in that cast to get people to come watch the show, just because he's so respected, so well respected, basically.
Yeah. Well, especially in the cowboy community, I feel like, or just that sort of,
All right,
it's a generational get.
It's a generational get, exactly. All right. Well, we will definitely be back next week to talk episode 7 of 1883. Roth in Wyoming, where can the people find you? What do you want to plug?
So you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Letterboxd at Roth from Wyoming. You can also listen to my podcast, available on pretty much all streaming platforms. We just did a live episode with Aussie Nate breaking down the Australian movie Two Hands. So that lives on YouTube. That video does, but it's also available in podcast form. Our next episode, I'm it was my pick. I have picked a movie that I was told it was a suggested movie to pick from one of our like kind of friend group's friends. That she was watching it on Netflix and she's like, "Wow, you guys need to watch this. It's called The House. It is claymation." Helen
Carter yeah, dude, that's a series. I thought
when you press play on Netflix, it plays consecutively an hour and a half.
Okay. Yeah, I think well, that's fine. Whatever.
I know, like on IMDb, on your show. It says. No, I had that question for her too when I like looked it up on IMDb. I was like, this says series. Dude. It says 3 parts. Each one's half an hour. And I pulled it up on Netflix and it played consecutively. So
that's like a rated R claymation show. And it's almost like a Lars von Trier claymation show. Like how crazy! I haven't seen it, but I've read some stuff about it.
I have not. I'm planning on watching it tomorrow night. I'm a little bit scared, but
yeah. Well,
good luck. So that's our next episode. So
yeah, well, good luck with that.
We'll see.
Awesome.
Well, good luck with that,
Dr. Earl. You are off the grid. You cannot be found.
I'm in the pretentious corner.
You're in the pretentious corner from time to time on the Deucecast Discord. And of course, every Wednesday you can be heard on the Deucecast Movie Show. We're talking about the top 10 movies that were not 2021 releases.
Yeah, not 21.
So that's the episode that's releasing tomorrow.
Much good pretension.
There is a lot of pretentious conversation.
Yeah.
Speaking
I almost forgot. Look what I have.
What? Look at that.
Yeah.
It's out there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Nick, do you have one? Nick, do you have one of those?
Oh,
look at that. Look at that.
Mine's in more focused.
That's awesome.
Job, guys.
So what now? Was I just dreaming? Like,
people.
Did you watch In the Heat of the Night, but your boys didn't, and that's why you hadn't done that episode yet? Or
what
are you In the Heat of the Night? Jacob.
No, that was just me by myself.
You need to get your boys to watch that and do an episode on it. That's a freaking good movie.
That's a good idea.
Call me Mr. Tibbs.
Yeah, I need to hear. I mean, it's definitely better than Two Hands, but I shouldn't say that.
Oh man, let's not.
Oh, okay. And Garrison would know. It's listed as a film online. Interesting. I could have sworn that was a series, but I don't know.
Whatever. I know that's what IMDb said, and I was trepidatious, but I picked it anyways. So
interesting.
We'll see. I'll have a final verdict on it next Tuesday. So,
well, hey, this was a really fun off the rails episode, guys. We will be back next week for sure to talk episode 7 of 1883, and then of course chapter 6. Yes, chapter 6 of the Book of Boba Fett.
Penultimate episode.
The penultimate. I'm staying up. I'm Han Solo, Kira. Like they're all going to be on there.
They're all going to just show up in this one.
This Boba Fett.
This guy
right here. We'll show.
Grogu will be on it. It's gonna be everybody. Everybody's gonna be on this episode. Mm-hmm. So we will be back next week, guys. I had a lot of fun with the chat. Also, the chat was on fire this episode. So I really appreciate that. It makes it a lot more fun for us. But as with anything with YouTube, we picked up one subscriber, so we're up to 61 now. Still on the road. We're taking the 1883 road to 100. We're going really slowly. We've got rivers to cross.
We've got many rivers.
We've got lots of rivers to cross.
Bandits.
Your focus determines your reality. I know we can do this.
That's right. I know we can do it. So, if you happen to come upon this, please share it with your friends. Throw some comments out there. I'll do my best to respond to every comment. It's usually only one, so I can probably handle that. But we will be back next week. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one.